Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live edition Friday night social media with Matter of Opinion and Hold Up, Hear Me Out though. How are you ladies and gentlemen doing this evening?
It's doing good,
Peace.
man. How y'all
Yes,
doing?
yeah. Not too bad. I'm hanging in there. Like I said when we was talking off camera, y'all gonna have to hold the fort for me since I'm a little bit under the weather. You feel me?
We ready to talk.
Yes, yes. All right. You good, Erica P?
I'm good for now. Let's see what happens. Y'all can hear me?
What the
Yeah.
heck just happened?
Yep.
It
Yep.
just kicked me out. I don't know. I was on here. I was ready to go, and it said no,
Oh.
no.
Restream say, yo, this is a sausage fest. We don't want you up in here. No ladies allowed. No ladies allowed. All right, so y'all know the theme for today. It's do black men really want to get married in 2022? And do double standards only become an issue to women when it's not in their favor? So those of you who are just tuning in, we appreciate you joining us on this Friday night. If you're joining us, hey, drop a comment. Let us know you're here because if you're here and you're just in the background, we have no idea you're here. And if you're tuning in from either Facebook or Twitter, hey, tune in on YouTube because it helped the algorithm and it helped the channel grow. And in the comment section, you see the two links for Hold Up Hear Me Out though and Matter of Opinion. Definitely subscribe to the channels. So, with that being said, let's get into this because we got an hour show. Hopefully, we don't go into overtime like last time, but we got an hour show, so we're gonna try and stay on point with it. So, the first topic of the day is let me put the caption up so people can see. Do black men really want to get married in 2022, or is it not a requirement? What do you guys think on this? Guys and gals think on this matter. Who want to go first?
Ma'am.
I guess I'm gonna go first. I'm not a man,
She
but
said, "Ma'am." Oh, I'm sorry,
Ma'am.
my
I
bad.
said ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am.
no,
I'm
she was
not a
just saying, "I'm
man,
not a man."
but
I got it.
I
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah.
but it's I think it's a catch 22. And the reason I think that way is one, I do feel like black men in general are not getting married as often in 2022 because I feel like women are allowing them to basically do what they want. And the reason, think about it, if you look at the way the family structures have been in the last few years, you have quite a few broken households
Hmm.
where men and women alike have multiple kids outside of marriage, and then you have to piece the family together. You may be consistent on one side, but it may not be consistent on the other. Do I feel like that leads to people not getting married? I do. I feel like if people were required to get married to have kids, that might require black men to be married before they start having kids of their own. I also feel like women nowadays, they're going with the flow. So they are being a little more looser with who they potentially date and potentially have kids with, which still causes people not to get married. Because to me, those are red flags. If you're not requiring people to be in a full blown relationship with you, that'll cause you not to get married if you're giving up all of the perks of being married, the cooking, the cleaning, the having kids, the building houses together. You have people in relationships 10 to 15 years who you have everything that a marriage would potentially want to have, but you're doing it without being married. You have whole houses and whole bank accounts with people sometimes, and I'm not saying that black men are just not choosing to be married. I don't think the women that they're dealing with are requiring that to be the case for them to be married to get all of the bells and the whistles.
Okay. Let me go on. Let me go second, if you guys don't mind.
Mhm.
Okay. The reason why I think men aren't getting married is because I wholeheartedly believe men actually do want to get married, but the problem is the product that they're trying to, you know, get their hands on is not conforming to what the buyer is looking for. So, in other words, if men are saying we want women that are classy, we want women to do XYZ, women to do this, women to present themselves like this, like that, women are now saying, no, take me as I am. And it's like, if men are the buyers, how the heck can you tell the buyers what they should be buying or what kind of product they're looking for? No product out there can tell the buyer what it is that they have to buy, like what it is they have to buy. This is what I'm doing and you have to buy it. No, it doesn't work that way. And a lot of women nowadays, like, they want all these traditional values from men, but none of them are traditional. They're not doing anything that's traditional. Now, in the case that you brought up, Erica P, about, you got people that's in long-term relationships and they getting the perks of marriage and everything like that. I think in cases like that, I think when you have a woman that's pushing for marriage or asking a man, "Hey, when can we get married? When can you do this?" For men, I think that's a red flag because it's like, what are you like? What are you rushing for? Like, what are you hiding? That's how it comes off to that man. You get what I'm saying? Like, a woman cannot push a guy into marrying her. It's something that a man will want to do. So if you're checking the boxes, put it like this: if you're a woman who you're doing what you got to do as a wife with the man and making that man happy, that man is going to want to marry you. Now, I'm not going to get into other details because Junes, I want you to, say your piece and everything like that because there's other things that may come that comes with it too. But I wholeheartedly believe that men don't want, like, men, not to say don't want to get married, they don't see a lot of women worthy enough to get married because of the way they carry themselves. Now, that's not to say the women who do want to get married and are doing the right thing, unfortunately what happens is just like on the men's side, unfortunately there's so many women that are not doing right in the way they present themselves that it's given a bad impression, so to speak. So you could have a case where a guy wants to step to a woman and that woman like just laughs in his face or disrespect him, or if that guy is shy in approaching that woman, and as she saw approaching the woman, it's like, yo, this guy's a weirdo, yada yada. If that guy was already shy to begin with to speak to her, what do you think that guy will do next time it comes to approaching a woman? He's just not gonna do it.
Nope.
Because you're already viewing him as a weirdo and it's already being promoted. Women don't need men. I could do bad by myself, yada yada. So men hear these things. Like, this resonates. Men hear these things and it's like, what the hell's the point of getting married if you don't need us? And another thing that wanes in men's mind too is because, like I said in the past, men know marriage is like the last thing, like that's what we fully have control over. And the thing is, when men go into it, we're like committed 100%. It's like a no turning back zone. But then when you look at the divorce rate, 83%, like 80 something percent divorce rate, that's, petition for these divorces. It's like, dude, you want me to go this route and then I lose my stuff? Like, what are we doing here? So, needless to say, I believe men want to get married, but stances nowadays with hard for them to want to jump the broom.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think guys are scared. I feel like they're scared from everything they hear where women initiate divorce. That makes a lot of guys scared. Like, okay, I could try everything I have to do, and then she's going to initiate divorce. They're scared to approach women. Where it's harder nowadays to hop. I know it seems easier because there's the internet,
Hmm.
but when you're in front of them, I think that's where guys will get more success is in person.
Hmm.
We won't, guys won't know how to holler at her. Why? Because they've been online so much. They've been reading how females will do you if you seem like a creep to them. If they're not attracted to you, you may seem like a creep to them. So that's very scary for guys. And I think guys want to get married. A guy would love to find the woman of his dreams. Like I'm 100% sure on that. I think every man would want to find the woman of his dreams, but it's scary. The search is not easy. That journey is tough because you're going to have to take a lot of L's, and
Mhm.
who really want to do that, you know? So I just think it's guys is really afraid.
Go ahead, Rex.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I think it's mostly, um, men do want to get married, uh, uh, but it's just the fear of, the divorce. You know what I mean? Especially if children are involved, because
Oh
they know,
yeah.
and especially if they come from a divorced family themselves.
Hmm.
So them seeing the cycle potentially being repeated, that by in itself is a fear. The divorce of them, taking half of everything that they worked hard for like years, just go up in smoke like this. The fact that they're constantly reminded that, now they're making their own money. They don't really need us like that. You know what I mean? It's like we don't really feel like we're wanted out here. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, well, I can take care of myself. I really don't need you now. It's like I make my own bread now. It's like, well, damn. It's if that's the case, it almost makes it seem like, you only want us around, for some, relations, and for some security, whenever trouble may arise. Pretty
Rex,
much.
can,
And
can
that's
I can I can I ask a question? Maybe you could answer it too. Is
for sure.
this is a lot of women are successful in their careers and stuff like this, right? And
Hmm.
they're saying they don't need us for anything and stuff like this, right?
Hmm.
So if that's the case, what is the issue of finding a guy? If you're making 100K or something, what is the issue of finding a guy that make 40 or 50K? Because if technically you don't need that man for anything, but just
Hmm.
for relations and someone to come home to and everything, then what would that salary actually matter? Because you're already a go getter. You feel me?
Because then, and I believe that now, let's say, she's making good money, or she's a high earner. Now it comes down to, okay, if he makes less than me, then he's not on my level. And if he's not on my level, then I can't give him the proper respect that he's owed. And that's honestly, like, basically she'll look at it as if, like, she's really running things, because mostly they think, if they see they're making more money than him, it's like, yeah, it's, what can you really tell me, as in like the woman, what can you really tell me now? Like, i'm
All right,
i'm
now
the
I'm gonna
bread.
interject you on that one because I
I
am a woman.
want to hear that. Yeah.
So I'm gonna think. Look, and I guess I'm gonna put it this way.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yes, I get, women in business.
Mhm.
Sometimes, depending on the person, they know how to turn that off. You don't always want to be that I'm a boss 24/7. You do have some
Mhm.
high earning women that go into their homes where no, they did not marry somebody that was in the same field as them or making the same kind of money. But you do have to outline what your marriage and your relationship is. And I feel
Mhm.
like for everybody, that is going to be different when you
I,
sit
I
down and have them conversations about what this marriage entails. That's where you define your roles. So you don't always have to be like, oh well, I'm the breadwinner and that's it, because you have some women that will submit to their man even if they don't make the same kind of money, because guess what, they
I
each
say
have different roles in that relationship.
Mhm. June, let me
And
say something
I
real
see
quick.
hands, I see hands. What happened? What's going on?
No, I was
June,
saying I
June, let me
agree.
say,
It's not 100%.
June, go ahead.
I just want to say that the submission isn't 100%, but it is
And
as close as possible.
But and that's what I'm gonna have to say too. You don't always have guys in relationships that want that 100% submission either. Like
You're
I'm,
right.
talking to married people individual, there's not always a you're going to be the head of the household and this is it. People change their roles over time depending on where they are in life's
Wait,
plan.
what do you mean head of the household? Because
Meaning
I
head of
feel
the
that's a
household
guy.
meaning
I think that's a guy's position,
okay,
person.
you have to think about it though. For some reason, let's say my husband gets injured and he's no longer able to go out and do what he needs to do,
Okay.
guess what? As his wife, if my job will pay me more for him to either sit back and heal,
Hmm.
or God forbid he's permanently disabled, then guess what? You're going to have to probably take on some roles in the house, and we would have to flip flop, because you have people later on in life that is a possibility. Everybody's not going to be top tier 100%. He might go on a job, step on a nail, and now his foot is amputated. Like, and I know I'm going to the extreme, but guess what? My parents, that happened. Like, I had to watch my dad be in for, and my mom always, you know, that person out working every day. Like, I grew up in a two-parent household, but it's like when sickness in a marriage, you either are going to excel with that sickness and be like, yo, what's the plan, and let us get this through this, or you gonna look at each other and be like, yo, what was he me? And then I can't move forward. So I'm like, those are stipulations with that death to us part. You have to pay attention to, because everybody's not going to be in that. It's not like back in the 80s or the 70s where somebody's at their job for the next 50 years and they're retiring from that one job. You have to you have to pay attention to all of those other changes that happen. And today I might not be the breadwinner, aka I might make the least amount of money today, but tomorrow it may change at any given time. I might get that job that I've been wanting, that my degree allows me to go get. And then guess what? Me and my husband have to have that conversation. Hey, are you okay with taking, maybe a job that's a little bit closer to home, making a little bit less money, because we still have to balance out where the kids are. Because realistically, I may make more money, but guess what? If I got to take on the brunt of those bills because childcare costs, then sometimes you making that most money doesn't, because you got to figure out, okay, for me to go to work, that means I got to pay for childcare. That means for me to go to work, I might have to put more gas in the car to go further out. Like, those are all things, that husband is going to have to look at when they're building those families. And that's always going to dictate, hey, are we going to be in this forever if we do decide to get married?
But here go where I had cut you off. It sounded like when you said like breadwinner equals the head of the family. Yeah, to you or no?
Okay, so breadwinner to me means whoever makes in the most money. So that's a little different.
But okay, so the two don't equate though.
They don't equate to each
Okay,
other. No.
all right,
To
okay.
me, they're two different terms. It's if you bring in 60K and I bring in 45K, then yes, unfortunately, the person who brings in 61. Now, am I saying that the husband is not the head of the household? No, the husband is the head of the household, but that breadwinner could be either one of us.
Okay.
Here's just something I want to say because okay, and I guess Erica P, you would know better. Like you could correct me on this because it seems like the women who say, "Oh, I want to get married" and stuff like this, right? Why does it seem like they want to take advice from single friends? They don't look towards married women to get the actual advice from them. They look at like unrealistic people. When I say unrealistic people, they turn to celebrities, people they see online, social media, rap videos, stuff like this. They look and want to imitate them and what they're spruing. They're looking because they're looking at it like, damn, Cardi B, she's spruing this whatever, and she got the money, and she got a man, and she's married, and got the kids. Yo, that's what I want. It's like you get like they're
Mhm.
reaching for unrealistic goal. Now, don't get me wrong, it's possible that it can happen, but right now where you're currently at, that's not your lifestyle. So it's like, why not turn to marry? Because here's the thing, let's just say for the sake of argument, if I'm fresh out the cut where I'm like, yo, I bet I'm I'm single, I'm ready to go, see what's out there. I'm not gonna go to June and be like, June, what's out there? I'm gonna go to Rex because Rex is a bachelor. You get me? So I'm gonna go to the source that I know that's gonna give me the best information for what I'm trying to achieve. I'm not gonna go to married men like, yeah, so where can I find some chicks at? No, it don't work that way. So it seems like women go to unreliable sources when they're trying to accomplish marriage. Like, do you agree, disagree? Like, what's your take on it?
Okay, so I this that question is twofold for me. So one, you got to think about it. Not too many people have married people around them. So that I'm starting to notice more and more of people's friend groups in that I'm gonna say over 25 because I don't want to say the 21s because you don't really have that many people where I grow up at 21 that are already married with kids. Sometimes they're out there still dating. So, but in general, you got, the overs. I don't see
Before
that
you
many
go on,
examples of being married.
before you go on,
Two,
hold that thought. Hold that thought before you go on. I just want to give a shout out to Andrew and Tanisha,
They,
for being in the chat. Andrew said, "I can't wait to get hitched," and Tanisha said they want to talk to
T,
people
what
that
up?
they can relate to. They don't want to hear the truth. Okay, go on. I just wanted to, point that out. But
it's so
sorry.
funny because that's was going to be my next point that Tanisha just made about people want to talk to people. They don't really want to hear the truth, and that was going to be my other thing because you have people that always just want to be one sided. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna go to that one friend that's just going to tell me yes or tell me the good parts of it instead of talking to people in a marriage where they could tell you the good parts, the bad parts. This is what I'm looking for. They don't always gravitate to those people because a lot of times they don't have those people to look at. In my case, yes, I grew up and had, married parents, married grandparents that I could look at. But I'm gonna be honest, I have one married friend. That's it. Like,
mm,
that is weird to me that I'm, in that tier that's gonna be 40 in the next few years, and I don't have friends that are in my circumstance. Now, do I have friends that are in long-term relationships? Yes. But for me, I feel like long-term relationships are different than being married because I feel at any point, if they decide, hey, I don't no longer want to do this, you can cut ties very easy
mm-hmm.
when you don't have that marriage license and everything else. Now, yes, granted, you could be long term with that person, have kids, have all of the same thing that I have in my marriage. But guess what? I feel like that one extra thing about being married may give you that little bit of extra fight to be like, you know what? Let me think about what I was doing. Let me see if I look at it differently, if I could save my marriage. If I
Now,
could keep my household being the same or not.
now here's the thing though, because let's look at it from a man perspective too, and tell me, do y'all agree with it? Because I hear that the long term, it could be, hey, you have the kids, you have the cooking, the cleaning, you have all the perks that a guy and a woman should have when they're married, but they're not married. A guy could look at it and be like, yo, there's a positive because if we part ways, I'm not losing half of my money. I may have to wind up paying child support and stuff like this, but I'm not getting alimony thrown on top of it, stuff like that. Like, it's a easier transition where we can actually communicate about custody. Like, all right, I'll get him on the weekends. Like, you don't have to bring the court system into it. So a guy could be like, yo, man, if I get married, they looking at this 80% divorce rate. They could look at it like, yeah, we got everything that we need. So why should we get that paper?
I, I don't think guys get defeated that easily. I think just because we see the high numbers, it shouldn't defeat us. Because you know what you was asking with the, why do they ask somebody who's not married? That's what the women was doing with Kevin Samuels. They're like, why are people going to him for advice when he's not qualified? And it's like, what makes him qualified? He's not married. And it's like, yeah, but you can still get good advice from people that aren't married. There's some single women that will keep it real. Like they'll let you know the truth. So I feel like that's really, I think that's up to us. I don't know.
Let me
Well,
ask you.
I
especially
was just
Let, let,
especially if they've gone through it, it's like you have to keep in mind. It's like, okay, I hear you guys, or I hear them. Like, yeah, he's not even married, but the man's been divorced twice, which means he was
exactly.
married. So it's like he's speaking from experience. So why would I not get advice from someone with experience that's more wiser in this field than I am? Of course I'm going to ask somebody that's been
Yeah,
divorced.
put
They'll tell
put
me the good parts and the bad parts and how to maneuver to not get into the same situation that they're currently in right now
put it
that
like
caused.
this, Rex. Yep, put it like this, Rex. If you
Mhm,
won the lottery and you won, a couple of $1 million, who
mhm.
would you want advice from on how not to lose that money? A person that had the money and lost it.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
But
Yeah,
if I
so then
if
they'll
I
let
if I
me
if,
know,
if I
don't do
crash
this.
the plane,
Make Go ahead, Drew.
If I crash two planes, why are you gonna ask me for advice though? I had
So
two.
But
so I know not to do what you did, so I don't crash that plane again.
Yeah, but
exactly,
that's if they're telling you what not to do. What they're telling you is what to do. That's the issue. Is like, don't do like you don't cook for him. You need to make sure he give. And it's like that's not gonna help you. You're gonna crash also.
Correct, but that's what I'm saying. You can't just only take one person's advice. You have to
Facts.
talk to quite a few different people because you want to realistically know what you're getting yourself into. That's what
But
I'm one of those people. You have to not just talk to one person. You talk to that one person, guaranteed. If you follow exactly what they do to a T, you will always get a different result because you
but
are
here
not that person.
but
and
here's the
also
thing though.
you got to use your discretion too at the same time. You got to be like, all right, is what this person said, does that make sense to you?
Mhm.
Right? It's like, okay, if it just sounds blatantly like out of this world, or it sounds like, whoa, that's gonna lead me to sabotage. Again, you got to use discretion, right? So,
But if you're emotional at that moment, you may agree with something ignorant they done told you.
Correct. That's why you need
see,
to take
that's
that information
that,
and see if
yeah,
it
but this is
applies
why
to
you
your
need.
circumstances. Because if it don't apply to your circumstance, you about to
But
jump off a cliff with no power, with no
yeah,
shoot
first
on.
off, yeah, you got to make sure you seek the advice, not so highly emotional. Secondly, you need, like, when you go for when you're shop for car insurance, do you just go for one quote or do you get
Of
multiple
course not.
quotes? So you have to go to multiple sources to get quotes, to get multiple advices, right? So um, it again, you got to use your discretion, but have multiple people in your circle that you can go to and ask these questions, because like you're not just gonna go off one. You know what I mean? That's not. I wouldn't advise that, to be honest. I mean, people do it, but the outcome normally it's not a positive one usually.
Facts.
So
Facts.
it is
I
what it is.
agree. I agree.
We have
All right. So, do y'all want to switch to the next topic?
it's right about time.
All right.
Mhm.
So we're gonna switch to the next topic. All right. So it's gonna come in two folds. We're gonna play the. Which one do y'all want to play first? Actually, do y'all want to play
Yeah,
the
either one.
one? All right. So we'll play. We'll play them. See that if we play either one we play, we're gonna have a discussion. So we're gonna play. We're gonna play the YouTube one first. We'll play that one
Okay.
first.
Okay.
All right. So let me pull this up.
Oh, you see, I'm buzzed.
So just to for people to know, the second half of the show is, do double standards only become an issue to women when it's not fair, when it's not in their favor, or do women disagree with double standards in its totality? So here's the first video. And I'm gonna fast forward it so this way, we played the parts, bits and pieces of it of what we're getting to. So here we go.
I am here with my sugar daddy, Rodolfo. How are you?
Oh, fine.
It's so good to see you. Where are we gonna go shopping? Are you my sugar daddy?
No.
What? No.
We're shopping.
So that's one, because you could tell from the look on her face, she was expecting him to say yes. And these are people it's like she was walking up to a random stranger.
I thought
So
she
here,
knew him.
no, it said walking up
Yo,
to random strangers.
it's a random stranger, bro.
Yes, random stranger. Yep.
She's
Watch. Let me
assuming,
fast
bro.
forward it back. See, on top,
You?
Oh, fine.
on top, it says
Wow.
calling strangers my sugar daddy. So yeah, and then the second one.
The men out there that think that it's okay to randomly come up to women unprovoked, why do y'all think that that's like okay? Like, why do you guys think that that's like what we want? I can never go out somewhere alone, and even with some of my girlfriends, I can literally never go out without a man being weird. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of men in the comments being on my like, oh, you're saying that all men are the same. I'm not saying that. I'm saying a majority of your species.
A few moments later.
All right. So just for people who's not knowing what the heck they just witnessed, pretty much the first woman came up to a random stranger and said, "Hey, sugar daddy, are you taking me shopping or whatever?" And since he's an older man, she's thinking my looks is gonna make him say yes, and he rejected her. The second one was a woman who was in the club with a random stranger, and she attempted to kiss him, and he pulled his neck back like, "I'm not kissing you." And she kept attempting, and he was like, "No," and that's when she started smacking him for him rejecting her. So
Mm.
that props into um double standards. The Because a man would never be able to walk up to a woman and just randomly kiss her or be like, "Hey, you taking me out shopping?" Like anything like that. Because I can remember I saw a video where a random woman was just walking up to dudes and sitting on their laps, like, "Can I sit here?" You know, if a guy did something like that, walked up to a woman and grabbed her buns or grabbed her chest like that, you got a nice chest, it would be a problem. But a woman can walk up to a guy if he got a nice body, touch his abs, his chest, everything. "Oh, you got a nice body," or whatever. It's not a problem. I don't hear women talking about the double standards of that. But the minute something happened when it comes to double standards, it's a problem because it's not in their favor. So, like, what is it? Do you think women just don't agree with double standards because it's not when it's not in their favor, or do you believe they just don't agree with double standards? Period. Because I never heard a woman vouch for me like he can't get in the club free. Nah, we got a problem.
No, they don't. They listen. They know about the double standards. They don't like it. We don't like it. Only difference is they only like it when it benefits them, right? Again, majority of them have been told since you're young, you're a princess. The world revolves around you. So you ain't really got to do nothing. You just got to show up. You dig? So they've grown up to see this. Not all of them, a good majority. This is why they're even just brave enough to come, rub up on a man's chest, say sweet nothings, try to kiss him up in the club. It's like, hold on, you're trying to kiss. First off, I was talking about that with Jim. I never understood this phenomenon. Walking up to a random stranger in the club trying to kiss them in the mouth. French
Disrespect.
kiss and all. Yo, homegirl could have just who she
Went in the
could have
bathroom and
slapped
it,
on the meanest
yeah,
knob.
it could have been a
And
glory
you
hole in the bathroom. She just partook in
Yeah.
clicking.
right, like
For real.
probably did. I'm not saying she probably did multiple that day and just coming and giving you the business, kissing you up in your mouth. It's like,
That's
goodness
the
gracious. Nah, that's crazy. That's wild, out of pocket. But it's just crazy because you know, if a man were to even touch a girl's arm, just touch a girl's arm, just a light, what are you doing? Don't touch me. Like, what? Oh, listen, security's surrounding dude, escorting him out, the whole nine. She'll even put on the waterworks, depending. Listen, but it's okay. You can grab my nuts, right? You can
Yeah,
grab my ass, right? It's cool though. You can kiss
See,
me in the
but
mouth, right? It's okay. It's
yeah, but
okay.
that is so weird though.
It
Like,
is
I
weird.
feel like, why
That's
am I being a stranger just walking up on people? Like, the person
bro,
in my head is not going to allow me to just walk up on somebody and just go touch all over them. Like, I can't
but
that
do
it's like
it.
but see,
but
that's
it's
you.
not really
That's you.
random. It's not really random. Sorry, Walls. It's
No,
not
go
really
ahead, go ahead.
it's like, okay, I know dude was probably trying to shoot his shot at her or vice versa. She probably found him cute. They talk and whatever. But it's like you're just meeting this person at a club and you're already trying to put your tongue down their mouth
That's
on
gross.
first interaction. You just found out what their name was. And it's probably a fake one. Like, are you for real? That's
Then
crazy to me.
But you acting like dudes sometimes don't go holler at the chicken and go smash her the same day. That happens too.
They wilding
Yeah,
too.
but that's but here's the thing though. At least they got introduced and stuff like he didn't just walk up to her, grab her hand, and say, "Yo, I'm going to you. Let's go to my house and smash." It was like it was a build up to it where she felt comfortable enough. We're talking about she just walks up to dude and tried to kiss him. Don't know his name or anything. But this is what I wanted to say was, see, the difference is men understand there's double standards and we just accept it. We swallow that pill, so to speak. And the reason why I say this, like, we can accept that if a dude has a nicer body than us or whatever, he can probably walk up to a random woman and like say something to her, and since she's enamored with his body or the way he looks, she's gonna take it. But then if you walk up and you're less than, she'll take it as, oh, you're a creep or something. We understand that double standard. We may not agree with it, but we're not going to give outcry about it because that's just what it is. Just like on the flip side, we can understand the double standards where now you get some guys who are like, nah, I'm not doing nothing, so to speak, where if your girl or a random chick is changing a tire, a guy would be like, yo, man, I can't let her do that by herself. Let me, get out and help her. Like, we understand those double standards where it's like, these are certain things that a woman should not be doing. As a guy, I should be doing it. It's like if you're sitting on a bus and a pregnant woman or a lady come, you like, yo, let me give up my seat. We understand these double standards and we accept it and are willing to apply to it. But them women don't like, yo, it's like, no, there's a double standard. This isn't right. But when the shoe's on the other foot, when it's in their favor, there's no public outcry. So
It's
that's how I
because
look at it. Maybe y'all could disagree, but that's how I look
no,
at it.
no, that's real. It's because we let it go. Like we allow that. Like I
Mhm.
like if someone did that to me, we're in the club, she just tried to kiss me. Like I'm not gonna report her to the cops and do all of that other
That's
stuff.
true.
It's
That's
gonna be
true.
more so like put her in her place. Like don't you ever do that to me ever again. But other than that, I'm not doing none of that. They will go to the necessary act. They'll take the necessary actions to make sure you never do that again.
Correct. And that's what I was gonna say. I feel like women will stand up if they want to. I'm not saying everybody will, but you're gonna have more women standing up going, yo, that's creepy, compared to a guy going, yo, that chick is a little psycho. Let me back up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
a
if they feeling you,
But if they
if
if they think you cute, then of course they're gonna let you walk up. You're gonna touch their shoulder, you touch her arm, and she
yeah,
gonna stand there.
yes,
But
mhm.
you don't know if she think you cute or not. That's the problem. You
that's
may
the
Yeah,
be
that's
you
the
may be
scary
thinking you
part.
cute, but that's the
that's the
scary
that
part.
is
It's like it's
that
up to her
and
to
that's
see
the
if she like you or
risk.
not.
That's the risk men are willing to take. We got to take that risk. I gotta go try to shoot my shot and pray she doesn't think I'm a creep or harassing her, and you know what I'm saying, and go to the extremes to get me either escorted or arrested. We're taking
Which
that
and I
chance
understand that. Remember, we had the
every
conversation that other week going, women just ain't gonna go shoot their shot like that. You get very slim chances of women shooting their shot. But
Yup.
let them be in a club, maybe a little intoxicated, they might have that liquid courage. So maybe I'm not saying that was her shooting her shot, but maybe that was her attempt at shooting her shot. Maybe she
Hmm.
just took it a little bit to the extreme. Like, okay,
She,
let me you didn't kiss
But
me the
she,
first time?
I
Oh, let me do it
think
again.
she
But then what
honestly,
causes you to slap this dude though? Like,
She
I,
violent.
I think she honestly thought that I've never but she probably did it before, she's probably done that before and has never been shut down, turned down before, so she
mm,
honestly believed in her heart that my man's gonna go with this. All right, let me just, I'm a little bit talk to him, feel myself, let me just, he looks kind of cute, let me go kiss him, and he's like, he said, "You got to chill out." And she was taken back. She's like, "Whoa, did he just reject me? Wait a minute!" And she sobered up quick and slapped him twice in the face.
yeah,
But
I,
you,
I
yeah.
don't even
you know,
think that was a sober up. I think she still had that liquid courage. She's like, oh, you're not gonna kiss me? All right, bop you in your head now.
But see,
what
here's
what
the
the
thing though. Go
too
ahead,
though?
Go ahead, Rex. Go
It's
ahead,
just
Rex.
another thing I've noticed. Women are not used to rejection at all, and they don't take it well at all. Like not at all. It's either they insult you, or they put hands. one or the other, or
Or
just try to be mean, but
they're
like
gonna
they
make things
don't.
up about you also.
Say that again.
Yeah, but that's not
They'll
acceptable
make things
either,
up
though.
about you.
Yeah.
You got a
They
little
just they
penis.
don't take it
He
well.
tried
They
to force
don't take it
himself
well
on
at
me.
all.
Here's the question I have, because
Mhm.
if you have a situation where a woman try to step to a guy, whatever, right? And I mean, there of course there's outliers, but the average guy, if a woman try and step to that guy and the guy's not interested, he's not gonna shame her. He's probably just gonna be like, "No, I'm not interested," or I have a girlfriend, whatever, stuff like this.
Mhm.
But women, especially the ones who like are eights and nines, the pretty privileged, so to speak, if a guy step to them and they feel they're not on their, like, he's not on their level, like, you get clowned, laughed at. Like, could you believe this
Oh
ugly?
yeah.
Like, don't let her be around her
Oh,
friends. Like, you're
oh
gonna get
yes.
clowned.
Yo,
Oh
because
yes.
I
Oh,
found the lesser attractive ones do it harder than the prettier ones, where
You
they
think
will
so? Oh
insult you
wow.
like word is it's
yo,
ridiculous.
bro,
Where
Wow.
I'm actually believing June is true, bro. Because the
Wow.
ones that are like high up there, the eights and nines, it's like again they get it all the time, right? So it's like for them, it's like a dude says not like It's like okay, whatever. But if it's a chick that's not cute, bruh, oh, it, listen, they go in.
Mm.
They go in. I'm talking about they talking you, your mama, they
mama, yeah,
everything you wearing, they going in, bro. They go in. They
Oh
go in.
wow.
Oh
Wow. I would
yes.
have I
Oh
wouldn't have thought it.
yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
bro. They go in.
Jeez.
Because
See,
it's
I
like
don't know. I ain't
how,
having problems. I have to do the nice, polite. No, thank you. I'm
Yeah.
okay. Let
that's
me
safe.
slot to the side, like, because you
That's
don't know
safe.
what kind of person
yeah,
you're gonna deal with.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I'd
exactly.
rather be nice and polite than it go left field, because you
Exactly.
never know. Now you got a stalker, and I'm like, Dak, how do I get rid of the stalker?
Let me
Right?
ask you guys something. Let me ask you guys something. If you step to a chick, or even Erica P, if you step to a dude, and if especially if you're like shy, or like you're like hesitant to step to the person, what could that person say? Like, what kind of turning you down could they do that would make you feel comfortable to step to the next chick? Like, yo, that didn't go so bad. All right, my confidence is up. I could try and approach another woman who I'm, or another dude that I'm interested in. Like, what kind of
I,
rejection would make you, give you like that confidence to do that?
You got to be
to
nice. You have
Yeah.
to go. You gonna have to put your kid gloves on and tell me
Cause,
nicely.
cause I know
Because
me.
if
If
you
I,
destroy my confidence, I'm not doing it again.
Because
It's
if I
not
her
try and
happening.
saying
step, if I try and step to a chick or something, and she like turn me down, and she's like, "Look, yo, like you're not an ugly guy or whatever, but unfortunately, it's just I have a man. Other than that,
That's cool.
we probably could have kicked it away. Because I had a situation where I stepped to a girl, whatever.
Mhm.
This was, Abraham Clark back in the day. We used to always go to Abraham Clark and try and bag something, June, back in the day. So I go to Abraham Clark, I see a chick walking, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? Whatever, you look cute, can I get your number, get to know you better, stuff like that. Kick the really bobo. So she was like, oh, she was like, unfortunately, I'm in a relationship right now, this, that, and the third. I was like, but you got friends, right? She was like, yeah, I got friends, but that still wouldn't be right, to this dude that I'm with or whatever. She was like, but if I'm single and I see you, then maybe, we could yada yada. So, she was real nice and, like that or
She
whatever.
was,
So
yeah,
that gave
she
me
was
the
good.
confidence, like, yo, okay, all right.
Mhm.
Got
that's
got a
That was
great.
little
good.
swag, you feel me? So
That
yeah,
that was a good one. That was a good one, but
yeah,
uh, because if I got let down like that, cool. Yeah, I was just because I was gonna say that. I was like, she tells me she has a man, and then just like some dudes they're persistent, so that okay, well we can't just be friends. It's like, well, that wouldn't be right. And it's like,
yeah,
wow, she still hasn't insulted you yet. She still
yeah.
let you know, listen, that wouldn't be right of me to do that,
Hmm.
right? So it's like, first off, so it shows you like this is a good woman right here because
Yeah,
she's not saying yeah it's cool we can be friends. She's saying that wouldn't be right to the dude. So it's like she respects homeboy. You know what I mean?
and
And it's like
respects
she respects
herself too.
herself. Exactly, she
Facts.
respects herself.
Hmm.
So it's like you know what? No, I'm not gonna do that. But was still respectful, polite. Didn't insult the dude. Didn't say like whatever. Didn't get out of pocket. That
Damn,
that's
damn,
that's all.
damn,
That's all you gotta do. But in women's defense now, in women's defense, that they they do start like that at first normally, but there are some dudes they can't take no for an answer. So it's like, okay, once they start, go a little overboard, that's when the ugly side comes out, and it's like, well, you looked
yeah.
for this, bruh. I told you politely. So like, I get it, because some dudes they're just too thirsty, right? And
All
it's
right.
like they don't get it.
So according to Rex, my new name now is the dude, which I put in the caption. That's what I was gonna say. I was like, damn, I regress to the dude.
The dude, my fault,
Yeah,
my fault.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
I was just giving an example. My fault about that.
I'm just messing with you, dog. All fun and games, brother.
Well,
All
you
right,
get what
so
I'm saying. You get what I'm
I know. So Erica
saying.
P, what about you? Like, if you went out your norm and stepped to a dude, like, what kind of rejection would build your confidence? Well, I could do that again.
He gonna have to be nice because the minute you go left field, I'm not doing it again. Like I'm one and done. You reject me that first time.
For
Describe a
all of us,
nice. Describe a nice.
A nice for me is he would have to tell me gently, I'm not really interested in you. Maybe you're not my type. You have to kid gloves with me because
no,
no,
Erica, I
I
want to call you off real
categorically have
quick.
never.
Erica, I want to call you off real quick. If you're telling me, if he were to say to you, "You're not my type," you would take that. You would take that as like, you okay with it? You
I
really
will.
you
And
really tell me you take that?
okay, so I know I'm not itty bitty skinny. I don't look like the Instagram thotties. I already know this. So when you already come to terms, you're not an Instagram thotty. You
Mhm,
take different ways of attracting people. I don't
mhm,
dress half naked when I go to the club. I'm not that kind. Yes, I got a chest, but I'm not putting it out there. Like you're not gonna see me in lingerie in a club. That's not me.
mhm,
I'm not saying I'm gonna just be
mhm,
comfortable in my jeans and my t-shirt going to the club, but I'm also not being above the norm. I don't wear makeup at
mhm,
all. So you're not gonna see me with a painted face when I go out. You're not going to see me with excessive weave and all of that kind of stuff. So, yes, there is a
mhm,
certain type of gentleman that is going to like my body shape and my size. And yes, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, which is fine. But if I look at you and be like, oh, he's cute. And if I, in my case, I've never had to do this, but if I need to go and step to this guy, yes, I'm going to need you to handle me with kid gloves. Cause like I said, I've never had to do this. So if you go,
mhm,
hey, you got a nice personality, that's awesome, but you know what? You're not the person that I gravitate to. I'm okay with that. That's letting me down easily. It's not that you said, yo, you
true.
fat and I don't want to mess with no fat chicks. Like that's something completely different. You come
Yeah, that's the
sideways,
yeah.
my mouth a little sharp. You might get a little toed off if you step to me a little the wrong way. I'm
Mhm,
not a shy person, but I ain't
mhm.
never had to go. I ain't never had to go out there to go find somebody to
You
deal
didn't
with.
you didn't have
So
to
my
pull off your
confidence ain't
gun.
gonna be on 100 trying to talk to somebody. It's a
All
difference
right.
when you've had to do that before. Look, I didn't date in my
Okay.
30s, so I
Mhm.
don't have that normal. I gotta go use my Twitter fingers now and go shoot my
Yeah,
shot.
for real.
I ain't gotta do that.
Tell me
But then
about
again,
Got you.
people ain't going to the club like that no more either. Well, I'm not going to the club like that, but I don't see me stepping to somebody in the club. I might have to step to somebody in the supermarket. I'm gonna go step to people where I'm at. I'm in them streets in the supermarket. I might see a
Mhm,
dude and be like, you know what? You are very handsome. And I might not even, that might be just me trying to shoot my shot at this point. Maybe that's what you get out of me. If you say
mhm,
something other than thank you, I might have a couple more words for you. If you be like, thank you, and you walk the other way, then guess what? That was me shooting my shot and not realizing it. Like,
okay.
it was
All
what it was.
right. I got you.
All
I
right.
got you.
So I guess that covers that topic. So we're gonna transition to this last video. Yeah, I want to hear you guys take on this joint right here, because yeah, this one's interesting, very interesting. All right,
Hey,
so here we
y'all
go.
get the likes up. Y'all get the likes up, man. Get the likes
Yes,
up.
definitely, definitely.
Literally ask him to bring us two separate checks.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, boss, did you make sure you added the
Hold
double
on, let
shot
me.
that she ordered? You made sure to
Are
put that
you
on hers, right? I did.
literally ask him to bring us two separate checks.
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
Hold on, I gotta make it
boss,
widescreen.
did you make sure?
I can't. Why can't I make it widescreen? Hold on, open a new tab. It's not
It's all
working.
good.
Okay.
You added the double shot that she ordered. You made sure to put
Are
that
you-
on hers, right? I did.
No,
I
like,
appreciate it, boss.
why are you so
Yeah.
cheap?
What do you mean? Why am I
In
so
the
cheap?
first place,
Appreciate
you
it.
were-
I'll take care of mine right now. Here, no,
Yeah,
no,
did you?
no, that's all good. I'll
What the heck happened? Oh, it stopped. We might be having technical issues, ladies and
Y'all get
gentlemen.
the gist of it, though, crowd. Y'all get the gist of it. Y'all know what happened.
take care of mine.
There you go. Come on, don't do this.
Oh, it's muted, or it just won't play.
It just won't play. Like it's buffering.
It's all right, y'all.
All right, but
Y'all
yeah,
get the gist.
here
know
was
what
the
happened.
here was the gist of it. He asked her out on a date, right? And he said when he walked in the door, he told her, "Yo, let's not go too crazy or whatever, because on a budget or whatever." So while they're out on this date, she starts ordering like all this expensive food, all this stuff. Needless to say, to make a long story short, she winds up racking up a bill of $250. So now when the waiter come and say, what's up with, like, ready to hand them the bill, he say split the bill. So that's when she pull out her phone and start recording, and she was like, "Yo, what's up? Like, wow, you're cheap, yada yada." And he was like, "Yo, as soon as you found out, like, it was on me, whatever, you just start spending all this bread and not being considerate, yada yada." So they going back and forth, and she's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna date you no more. I'm not calling you." And he's like, "Yo, I'm not gonna call you back either. Like, that's inconsiderate." So they have a back and forth about that. So I guess my question is, do you feel he was wrong? Because she was like, "You asked me out, though. You asked me out, so I shouldn't have to pay, yada yada."
Let
So
me
do you think he was wrong for not, like, saying split the bill?
let me lead that, please, because I need to.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
When I started watching it, I started, I felt like he asked her to go out. So I'm like, it would make sense for you to pay. But then I heard him say, I told her once we got in here, like the drinks is kind of expensive, so just simmer down.
Mhm.
And once he said that, I'm like, okay, so he already gave her the word. Then she was buying lobsters, and then she was getting drinks, and it's like, yo, you're trying to play him for an idiot. So after that part, I was like, oh yeah, I don't see where he's wrong. I would have to back then. I would have had to. It would have been after we've had sex, after I figured I liked you,
Mhm.
and after I felt like, you know what, I could do this again, like chill with her again. That's when I probably would have paid for, because I'm like, maybe this will become wifey, who knows? But you didn't give me anything. You trying to play me? Obviously, I told you the drinks is mad expensive. You racked up $250.
And
Like,
that's not even including your food.
so nah, I don't think he's wrong. But I do think if you ask for the date, you should pay for the date. That's what I think. But if you tell her like to calm down and she went crazy, that's on her.
See,
Yeah,
here's my
it-
thing.
to-
Yo, you want to go, Rex?
Go
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Walls.
Well, I'll keep it short. Here's my thing. My thing is, even if somebody is saying they're going to take you out or something like that, you as a person, like, you should not want to take advantage of that person, because once you get into the mind state of taking advantage, it's like, what does that say about you as a person? Now, granted, another thing that was also said in the video was he had like a coupon or something like that,
Oh,
to get discounts off, and she's like clowning him for that. And I'm like, chick, don't you understand? This means this is a person who's good with finances, who is gonna save you guys money if y'all decide to, go further. That was just oblivious to her. So, in a nutshell, I understand if you take a person out, yes, you should pay. If that was me, I probably would have paid and I would have been mad as heck about it. But I promise you, like, she would have been like, that's it, you're done. I probably would have been like, yo, man, catch a cab home or call an Uber and keep it pushing.
kudos to
Uh,
you.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Like, for me, I agree. If I'm the one that's inviting the missus to a date, I'm gonna pay for the date. If I'm the one that made the suggestion, I'm paying. But I know we didn't watch the video, but if you watch the video, exactly, homeboy said he told her before they went in. He's like, "Listen, next spot they got cheaper. They got cheaper drinks."
Yeah, he did.
She was like, he gave her an alternative. She said, "Nah." They decided to stay, and then she went and basically took advantage of my man's pockets. And it's like that I have a problem with, because again, he gave you an alternative. You know, well, you thought he was gonna take care of the whole date. So because you went in there doing that, so you're like, all right, I'm gonna take advantage of this, and I'm just gonna, I'm gonna eat well off his dime. And that again, like what I was saying, it says a lot about you, and it shows you don't have a lot of integrity about you, and it's not a good thing at all. Like, he's a nice dude. Some people I know, they would have just left up and right there.
Yeah.
Like, for example, there was one time at my job, was a female coworker. I remember it was my birthday. My birthday. She's not even my girl. Good girl though. Great girl. Go to a restaurant. We had like a long break in between. So we went. I forget what restaurant it was. We just went there, and I'm like, just get what you want. But we took it to go, and then she's like, she waited to see what I was gonna get, so she can match what I got, instead of just trying to get whatever that was most expensive on the menu. And I was actually waiting for that, to be honest, which is sad. I'm like, let me see what she gonna order. She's like, what are you
Wow.
gonna get? And I was like, I'm thinking of getting this. So she waited until I ordered mine and got the exact same thing. And I'm like, well, damn. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Again, not even my girl. We weren't even going out on the date. I'm just like, it's my birthday. Let me eat good. You know what I'm saying? I want to try this spot. Yo, let's try this. You want to come through, because we're working together that shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that shifted. And
Got
she's
you.
like, yeah. No problem. And then, like, just goes to show you, it's like she could have, but she didn't. See what I'm saying? So that's the difference.
Yeah.
Girl, though, this girl was like, she expected not only homeboy to pay, and then she went bonkers on the menu. 250 on yourself? Who are you? Like, who are you? And I
And,
can almost guarantee you she would have give up the box that night. I can almost guarantee.
see,
Guarantee.
here's what I look at it, because what that tells a man, the red flag it tells a man is, okay, you want this meal and you want absolutely nothing to do with me. And the next, like, if he would have paid for the meal and took her home and everything, I guarantee you the next day it would have been a text, when's the next time we're going out again to eat?
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? So
Facts.
that's how a man would have looked
All
at it.
right, I'm gonna
But
cut
yeah.
all y'all off now because y'all done ran with that one. So, and no, I'm old school with it. So I do feel like she was completely wrong. So
Okay.
I'm gonna drop some knowledge on y'all. When I first started dating, my dad pulled me to the side. You make sure you keep quite a few things in your pocket. When you go out on a date, you make sure you carry enough money to cover whatever you decide to eat. because you don't know what them strings gonna be attached when you go out on these dates. Two, you could tell when I first started dating, I ain't have Uber and all of this on my phone. So I had to have cab money in my pocketbook
Hmm.
to make sure if I wasn't the one driving, I can get out of that situation and get myself home. So
Talk
do I
to
feel like
me.
she was wrong? Heck yeah. Because in my mind, if that's how I'm eating, then that's how I'm eating. I don't care. If I know I want lobster mac and cheese and I want a 9 ounce steak, if that's what I'm ordering, I guarantee I got that in my pocket and I can pay for it myself. Now, yes, if you ask me on a date, I'ma see what you gonna do. If you gonna pay for it, okay, that's a nice date. If you're not gonna pay for it, then guess what? I'm gonna pull that money out of my pocket or pull out that card and be like, here, go ahead and swipe. You ain't gonna see me recording no video bad mouthing somebody that this may
But
have been the first date.
let me ask you this though.
But
Let me ask you
but
this.
are you gonna
Go ahead,
go
Rex,
ahead?
because
Go
I
ahead, bro.
think I know where I know. I think I know where you're going. So go ahead. I think I know
Oh,
exactly what you're gonna ask.
because Erica, you said that if you whatever you want, that's what you're trying to get, like because you know you have the money to get it. So whatever. So with that in mind, well, are you still going to get those things even though you're not going to pay?
Okay, this is the problem. I don't, even if it's a first date, I don't go expecting somebody to pay because I don't know what's in that person's pocket. So
Okay,
I
but
am that
now
person
Oh,
where you may ask me on a date.
let me let
go
me
ahead.
let me, let me ask this because okay, if a dude is like, "Yo, I want to take you out on a date. I'm gonna pay." Would it tell you in your mind to be like, "Oh, you're gonna pay? All right, I'm about to go all out and order the
No, no, no,
I
no,
house."
was
no.
just about, I
Mm-mm.
was
I'm
just
not
about
doing
to
that.
ask
I'm gonna be like Rex's coworker. I'm gonna see what he's ordering, and I'm probably going to order something pretty similar. It may not be the exact meal, but it's gonna be in that price range. So let's
See,
say he ordered the chicken pasta, and chicken pasta is $12.95. I'm gonna look and see what else on that menu is $12.95 that I might like if I don't want chicken pasta
see,
because
but
I
that
will make sure that it's maybe a dollar or two different. I'm not going, you're ordering $13 and I'm about to order 60
That's a
because
heavy
you don't
budget.
know what else could have happened. He could have been like, "Yo, you ate cheap on this dinner date. Hey, you want to go bowling? You want to go to the movie?" Like you don't know what the next spot is
Nope.
after that. And he had already
Mhm.
said, in the beginning of that video, the place down the street got cheaper drinks. Guess what?
Mhm.
They might have been stronger drinks because you don't know. But you didn't give him the time of day to take you from one place to the other. You done spent all your money in one spot. And if I'm
Mhm.
not mistaken, I think she was on her phone and doing some other foolery in that video too. So you weren't even interested in getting to know me. You were just interested in coming to get
Yeah.
this food. So that means in your
Well,
phone you was putting so and so is food connect, and that's all you was trying to put me in. That means you weren't
Yes.
giving that man a fair shot.
exactly. Well, if you can put that link in the description so they can see it,
yeah.
because yeah, like if you can, because like she clearly had, again, even the fact that she even pulled out her phone to record the whole thing, that for me is a red flag. Even if I was out of pocket, that's a
But
red
you're
flag right
shaming me.
there.
And that is not okay
Yeah,
either. Because
because it's
my
like
thing
that's not
is
okay.
you don't know what the circumstance is. One, and two, I could have
Exactly.
had that money. But because you was being a big head while you was at this table and you can't hold an honest conversation, why do I feel like I need to treat you? Think about it. If I'm out here dating with the purpose to marriage, that is a red flag for me. I can't even go have a whole conversation with this girl without being in her phone.
I think she was trying to go out later that night and she's trying to get sauced with him. I think
Hmm.
that's what was
That's not
going
my
on.
problem. That's
Nah,
not
it
my
ain't.
problem.
It
My
ain't.
problem is not to make sure that you sauce. My problem was I invited you out. I pressed you to invite you out, and you showed your butt.
But he was in the
That
friend
is not
zone.
okay.
Like Rex. Rex took her out. She got a good meal. He still put her in the friend zone. So
Yo,
But
yo,
you don't
no,
know what those
no, bro.
situations are gonna bring
I
though.
just
You
want
don't
to
know.
press.
And
No,
that's the
bro.
problem. It's
I
like
promise
I don't
you,
know if
I
this is
would
gonna put
not.
me in friend zone. I don't know if it's gonna put me in dating roster. You don't know. But that's what you're going out
Not,
on these dates to do, to see
yeah.
if we vibe and we bond. If you sitting at a table with me with your phone out the whole time and I'm asking questions and you give me one word answers, guess what? That is a bad date.
Yes.
That means you're young minded because my thing is that means you don't know how to date. because the purpose of going out on the date is for me to get to know you, even if it don't lead to anything other than us just being friends. That meant you use that man for his money. You was like, oh, I'm about to get this coming because I guarantee she ain't eat all that lobster mac and cheese and that big old steak and everything else that you ordered. You might have guzzled down all them drinks, but now you like, okay, I got all this food and I'm gonna take the doggy back home too. Nah, you
This
about
is
to be mad.
this is
I'm
what
spending
I'll
$250.
this
Give me
is what
all my
I'll say.
leftovers.
This is what I'll say because at the end of the day, you want to give people a recourse. So women, if you go out on a date with a guy, my best advice would be either you ask up front what's the budget, number one, or when you're ordering whatever you're ordering, if he says, nah, girl, go ahead, get what you want, then that's giving you a license. That's when you be like, wait, get what I want. Like, you sure? Like, cause I could throw it down. You do it like that or whatever. But
Exactly.
even then, $250 only on your tab. Like, I can't even eat and drink $200 worth of food and drink.
But
Word.
just
So
where you at?
I'm about to say it
yeah, the
depends, and them
drinks, that's
drinks is what's
true.
gonna cost you.
Yeah, it's gonna
But
be
Because you
drink.
talking lobster mac and cheese, even if in a halfway decent spot, you talking maybe 20-30 bucks.
yeah, but
You
see,
talking a steak,
but see,
maybe
there's
20 to
no
fifty
way
dollars, depending
that,
on where
but
you
see
going.
that won't apply to me because I always know I could go to the liquor store and get saucy for way cheaper than in a freaking restaurant. That makes absolutely no sense to me. So that's why I said I would never rake up $250 for food and drinking.
Yeah,
Just
like
like I wasn't the type,
that's wild.
I wasn't the type at a bar to believe in drinking because I'm like, give me one Long Island iced tea, I'm good. If I see I got to get more drinks and stuff, no, I could go to the liquor store and turn up, or I could
That's why
pregame.
a
Like,
lot
come
of
on,
that's why I was like, I don't drink anymore. But that's why a lot of us before we would do the pre-drinking before went to the club because you
yeah,
knew them drinks was pricey when you got to the club. You maybe had
exactly,
one,
yeah,
maybe two, but it's like,
yeah,
yeah, like you were doing
that's
pre-drinking
it. Yeah,
before you
you
went
pregame for
You
real.
ain't
there.
seen me in the club with the bottle with the sparklers going off. Sorry, not sorry. 250. I'm not spending 250 on a bottle of Henny. Have a nice day.
Yeah, 100%.
For real.
100%. Wow.
Well, that's gonna do it. We went over a little, only got a couple of minutes, not too bad, but yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode of Friday. I guess, like I said, I was going with the name Friday, Social Media Friday, because we always, look at social media's videos to
Mhm.
comment on and have commentary on. So yeah, that's what I was kind of going with, social media Fridays. So
Mhm.
that's gonna do it for this episode. Any word of advice that any of y'all want to bestow on our viewers or people that will view this video?
I
Anyone?
feel like if you're going out on dates with people, be honest, be upfront, let them know what the stipulations are when you go out there. I feel like people
Yeah,
go on these dates and don't know how to act. So
just
it's more of
I
just
agree.
make sure you ask the right questions in the beginning of the date. So when you get to the end of the date, you ain't looking like you stupid at the end when they bring you your own check.
And I
And
think
Just
I think
be
you should go to the gym, like go to a place like the gym, somewhere you're going to spend time with her. If you're dating her, I say take her there for the first date. Just you this way you don't have to spend too much money. She don't have to play you. Take her somewhere you think you would want to go with your girlfriend. If she don't want to go, ain't no point.
for me,
me
my
quite
word of it.
simply.
Oh, go ahead, Rex.
Oh,
My bad. No,
no,
no, go
just
ahead, go
real
ahead, go
quick.
ahead. Yeah.
Quite simply, it's real sweet, real short and sweet. Do not ignore the red flags. Do not ignore them. I know, women have, our little more. I can't even talk right now. Women do this a little more than the men do, but to both parties, do not ignore the red flags. If your intuition tells you something ain't right, it probably is. Ride it out for a bit, but keep it in mind, and then make your assessment either at the end of the night or like by the weekend. But don't just think either you're going to change them or they're going to change, because that's not going to happen. I'm just letting you know that right now. So that's it.
My advice is, or do black men really want to get married, it's yes, I agree. Black men, honestly think men want to get married. It's not only women that think about the White House and the picket fence and the kids and stuff. Men think about that too, and I think people think men don't think about that. But this is what I'll say: if you're if you have aspirations for being married, get advice from your married friends. I don't care if it's like I understand a lot of people don't have a lot of married friends, but I'm pretty sure at work you have coworkers and stuff that are married. So get advice from them. Or hell, go online. Everybody being like, freaking message boards and stuff. Go into a married message board. People will give you great advice. I see people go in there for parenting advice and get great advice for stuff. So why not do that
Mhm.
if you're aspiring to get married and find out what are some wifely duties and stuff if you don't know what it is to be a wife or the job that requires with it. And the same thing for men. If you want to be a husband, you know look into that stuff. And the other thing that I will say is, if you have aspirations to getting married, if you're in a relationship with somebody, do not think about what wrong is this person doing. What your
Mhm.
focus should be is doing what you need to do to keep that person happy. Because if you're focused on what you're doing, you're not worried about the outside noise, and you're focused on making that person happy, you will accomplish it. Everything in life comes with risks. That's just how it is. But if you're focusing on what you need to do at the end of the day, whether it work or it don't work, at least you can go to sleep at night saying to yourself, I gave it all my all and I did what I had to do. That's the best advice I could give to people when it comes to if you're aspired to get married, so to speak. So that's my love doctor speech. With that being said, man, guys and gals, thanks for tuning in. Hey, if you tuned in on Facebook, pop in on YouTube. Definitely, like on there, subscribe. Again, I'm going to post a link for Hold Up, Hear Me Out, though. So
Mhm.
that's Hold Up, Hear Me Out, though. You could click that link. And don't
Check
forget
us
to
out every
like,
Wednesday.
share, and subscribe on Matter of Opinion. And this is the link here also. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for us. We guess we'll do this again next Friday. And June, like I said, me, you, and Erica are definitely going to look into that video we was discussing off camera very soon.
Sir,
So,
Okay.
do y'all got any videos coming out that y'all want to notify the audience to look for?
do you have the title, Rex?
Not yet, but we definitely have a video coming up. It's gonna be up on Monday, so be on the lookout for those that subscribe to Hold Up, Hear Me Out though, and for people that are on Matter of Opinion, you can check us out there too.
Definitely,
So be on the
definitely.
lookout for that on Monday. It's gonna be a good one. So
All
yeah,
right,
y'all go check that out.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. All right.
All
We
right,
got something. We got some things brewing on our end also that is gonna probably ruffle some feathers, but yeah, it's coming soon too. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. God bless y'all and good night. Bid y'all adieu.
Peace.
Peace.
bro.